July 1st heralded the introduction of the much-discussed FOFA reforms. In this edition of NIBA TV, NIBA legal advisor Mark Radford gives an overview of the new best interest duty and how it applies to brokers.
The background to the FOFA reforms arose from, in effect, the problems and the failures in the financial advisor market. As a result, the government did the review, which you're all aware of, and unfortunately general insurance, life risk insurance were basically caught up in the whole process. The good news is that as a result of the lobbying done by NIBA, the impact is significantly limited in relation to general insurance brokers, and life insurance brokers, whilst are affected by more of the reforms, weren't subject to the ban on conflicted monetary remuneration. So today what we're going to do is do a high-level overview of the changes, and then NIBA will be providing more detailed web training in relation to the issue going forward. So the best interest duty only applies where you give personal advice to a retail client. You can satisfy yourself and the court that you've met that best interest duty if you meet certain criteria that's set out in the legislation. The important thing to know is this: for general insurance brokers, the actual obligations have been limited to, in effect, 3 specific obligations, whereas for all other financial products, the obligations are more significant. The 3 things that an insurance broker providing advice in relation to general insurance products has to focus on are as follows. They must have identified the objectives, financial situation and needs of the client that were disclosed to the provider by the client through their instructions. Okay. Now, for most of you, this won't change what is currently the case. Okay. You get the instructions, you collect the information, you identify what's relevant. You must have identified the subject matter of the advice that has been sought by the client, whether explicitly or impliedly. So that's really you as a professional working out what it is really that the client's wanting from you. You have to identify the objectives, financial situation and needs of the client that would reasonably be considered as relevant to advice sought on the subject matter.